It's called Juju's Mission to Remission. Started because of our friend Dijon's daughter, Juliet, that we call Juju. And she was diagnosed at 18 months with pediatric leukemia. Well, first of all, the great news is, from what I understand, it's a recoverable
good.
Form of cancer. It's something that you truly can't beat. So like that's kind of the brightest star in this whole thing. But we started it to raise money and try to subsidize cost, and the guys are just really excited about doing it the right way. So it's a legit 501c3 now. The first year that we did it, we raised $50,000. I think part of it was we were serious about it. We have a bunch of people involved.
Welcome to the On Par podcast from the Winners Award Group showroom in Coconut Creek. I brought back a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Mr. Sam Eppy from Levante Wealth. But don't worry, we're not talking about investing in the stock market or anything boring like that.
Boring.
It's boring for me. We're gonna talk more about his golf tournament coming up, helping some kids, which we always love. We've got Nick's camp that helps kids with cancer, so it's always close to our hearts here at Winners Award Group. And thanks for coming back.
I appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely. So what's going on with you? Bring me up to speed. How's life? How's business? And then we'll get into talking about your golf tournament.
I don't want to bore you with the investments, man. Life is good. Business is good. Our wealth management business is probably our best thing, and it's a blessing that the stock market is still kind of.
Well, I more don't want to talk about that, because then we got to go through compliance, and there's a lot of red tape,
right.
And I could get canceled for no reason. And
no, they can't do that to you. They could tell me that I'm not allowed to share it.
Not allowed to share it.
Or that I said something I wasn't supposed to say. So you're right about that.
Yeah. So that's the main reason.
Business is good. Business is good. We're growing. My team is doing well. My family is doing well. I got 2 boys, 10 and 8, Ben and Nathan. My wife Kelly is doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. My kids are in. My son is a junior in high school now, which is weird because he's driving. We actually did a whole podcast on Podcast Twins, my other podcast, about teaching kids to make good decisions and then giving them enough freedom to make mistakes, hopefully not catastrophic ones.
On the road?
In general. But yeah, driving. I mean, he's working at Publix part-time. He's doing a dog sitting business where he'll also take care of people's houses, and he's helping one of our dear friends who her husband passed away a little while back. So he's there every 10 days or so helping her with whatever, breaking down Amazon boxes or lawn care or watering the plants or whatever she needs. And I'm proud of him because he's doing stuff, right? He's not awesome. My friends are like, man, I know other teenagers, and this kid's by far and away doing a lot more than they are.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
He's volunteering at school, he's getting all his service hours, he's looking at figuring out what he wants to do after high school, whether that be college, which his mom and my mom are pushing, which is weird because my ex-wife and my mom don't agree on anything except that he should go to college, which I'm on the fence about, but that's another story for another tequila.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And my daughter is 10. We just got back from the Indian Princesses camping trip a couple weekends ago.
I've heard that's great.
It's her favorite 8 days of the year. Is the 4 days we go in October camping, and then we go again in February.
Yeah, we'll have to play some Indian Princess geography and figure out if we got the same groups of friends.
Well, we go to Circle F Dude Ranch up in Lake Wales.
Yeah, that's where they were. I'm pretty
so
sure.
yeah,
How
I mean,
old
if they're
11,
she is gonna be 11 in a few months. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Well, and that's how you met Steve Dwayne, correct?
No, I actually met Steve Dwayne through the 100-hole challenge about 6 years ago. He was playing 100 holes. I was the chairman of it, and he didn't have a playing partner. So the guy who was the current director at the time, Jack Bloomfield, says to me, "Hey, why don't you go play with this guy Steve? He's a cool guy." Okay. And so we played. I think I played 50 or 60 holes with him, and then I had to go to work because I had already done my 100 holes. And we raised we raised like $300,000 in 3 years, and then we continued on for a couple more years. I think we came close to $500,000 in the 5 years that I was the chairman.
Huge.
And Steve was there; he was participating.
His daughter and him do.
They're in my nation, but they're in a different tribe. So we go on the same camping trips, but we're in Tequesta and he's in the Fox tribe. Yeah. So we're friends, of course. Everybody's friends there, right? Like the girls play pranks on each other, but they always give the stuff back that they steal. And we stole their flag one time. They stole our eagle one time. It's just a fun time. My daughter doesn't care about the war games or the skid or the cheer that they do.
It's 8 days?
It's 4 days in October, so it's Thursday to Sunday, and then it's 4 days in February, same thing. So 4 days is great for camping. Like that's the right amount for me.
That's the maximum amount.
And we eat like kings and princesses out there. I think that's why they call it Indian princesses. Like I did surf and turf one night. Yeah. My buddy Mike did Greek night. We just have fun. So I made filet mignon and garlic shrimp the first night. We ate pretty. We eat better out there. And the girls eat better out there than they do at home sometimes, except for the candy. But that's another. Yeah,
I heard I'd take an invite just for the food.
Well, they have Indian guides for your boys. You could do the father-son thing.
Yeah.
So
I'll check it out.
But yeah, that's kind of and my wife is Disney pin trading. She's actually up in Disney World getting pin drops, buying Winnie the Pooh pins today.
That sounds horrible.
I don't judge anybody for their hobbies because my hobbies are golf, shooting guns, and cooking lots of meat.
I'm gonna judge on the Disney.
That's okay.
Pin
and
thing.
You know what? If she doesn't make fun of me for playing lots of golf with guys like you and Jonah, I leave her alone on her hobbies.
Fair enough.
We might rag on each other occasionally. But I'm going on a week-long vacation to Vegas with just her. We got the kids covered. We got the dog covered. So I'll be up in Las Vegas. We did a Vegas episode about sports gambling and why you shouldn't do it unless you know which side the fix is in on Podcast Twins. So I'll be playing poker. You mentioned poker right before we started. I like my odds in poker in Vegas because even though I'm not like a superstar poker player, if I'm playing against 9 drunk people, I like my odds. Okay. I like my odds. What do you play?
Which is better than it's whether I don't play much, but if I'm like in Vegas or something, I play blackjack, and blackjack I think is the opposite because you really want all the people at the table to make the right plays on the cards, right. And when they're drunk, or they just this sounds like a fun game. Let me sit down and try it, and they're not listening, and they just kind of want to do whatever they want. It
messes up the deck. Yeah, of course. All right, and then what about on the golf course? You bet on the golf course at all, or are you just out there for fun? I mean,
sometimes I get stuck with like friends that do, and I'm not gonna like say no unless it's like something ridiculous that I don't feel
if they're like, hey, $1 a hole, or whoever wins, pays for lunch or whatever.
We're in South Florida. Sometimes you come across people that are like, yeah, $500. I'm like, I don't. Because I'm not a good golfer. I'm tracking my handicap. It's down from 28 to 26. Like it's not.
Yeah, I'm in the 20, 21 range, and
like to be there.
I shot a 99 on Friday last week, and it was a good back 9, but the front 9 was a little messy.
Yeah, I tried. I've gone a couple times, but I went last night and played at Parfit in Coconut Creek.
Have you done that? No, I have. I've played in other simulators, but I haven't been.
It's a great spot if you enjoy that. I don't know if it's simulators or what it is, but I could not hit the ball so it's just like one of those very, like the waitress is checking on you. She's like, how you doing? And she's not doing anything wrong, and she's been a great waitress, so you don't want to be like, I'm doing horrible. Like, thanks for asking.
You're like, I'm having fun with my friends.
I hit the ball right into the wall and it like almost in my face.
And are you gonna participate as a player in Melbourne when you do your golf tournament, or are you gonna be like an ambassador driving around and helping?
We need our it's all hands on deck from a volunteer standpoint. Okay. So just as a reminder, so it's called Juju's Mission to Remission. Started because of our friend Dijon's daughter, Juliet, that we call Juju. and she was diagnosed at 18 months with pediatric leukemia. She, since our first podcast and now, she lost all of her hair, and now her hair is starting to grow back. She's still doing treatment at the Children's Hospital up in Orlando, but the great news was, well, first of all, the great news is, from what I understand, it's a recoverable,
okay, good,
form of cancer. It's something that you truly can't beat. So like that's kind of the brightest star in this whole thing. But we started it to raise money and try to subsidize cost, and the guys were just really excited about doing it the right way. So it's a legit 501c3 now. The first year that we did it, we raised $50,000.
So I mean, look, if you break even your first year, is what they tell you, you did amazing.
We were like, I think part of it was we were serious about it. We have a bunch of people involved, so I think like the more people you have, especially if they're for us, we're fraternity brothers, so like we're used to working together to put something on. We're used to arguing about things and working through those arguments. We're used to kind of dividing up roles and responsibilities. So like there was just a larger group, like called like a dozen people, that everybody kind of divided and conquered, and to a certain extent kind of already knew what they needed to, what role they needed to settle into.
And is the golf course itself considered a sponsor? Because don't they subsidize the tournament or help donate, or they did last year? Refresh my memory.
I actually don't know. I'd have to look it up. I think it's Baytree, and it's it's funny, like with the golf tournaments, I don't know like how the sausage is made stuff people want to know, but like we started by spending time on a call with one of our buddies' contacts that had done a golf tournament, and just asking a ton of questions about how they did it well from the ground up, and what they wish they would have known, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think Baytree's sponsoring. I think they may be giving us a better price on our foursomes. Honestly, I'm not in the negotiating with the course role, so like I don't even get into it.
Okay.
But we were able in year one to raise about $50,000, and that was enough to not only take care of his families. The goal was just to cover medical costs, whether it's like transportation, the medical bills themselves beyond the insurance.
Sure.
What the insurance covers. We raised more than that, so we were immediately able to go out and start the process of identifying other families. And he said, just like by being in the hospital, it's pretty easy to like start not only identifying families, but connecting with some of the like other programs and services that help identify the families. You guys probably know.
Did the money come more from the golfers themselves, or more from sponsors, or was it a mix? The first year, and then we'll get into subsequent years.
It was a spread. It was a spread. I've heard now that we're like studying what other people are doing. I've heard that some people like spend the entire lot of what the golfers spend on the foursomes on swag, and then make the money off the sponsorships, and then like everyone's kind of got a different strategy. I'm pretty positive we have a spread on the sponsorship and a spread on the foursomes.
Okay.
But we're constantly debating it. Like I went to a tournament in Aventura for the Aventura Police Foundation, and what they said is they spent all the foursome money. It was expensive foursome, and all the foursome money was spent on the swag, and it was awesome. I mean, you get like Stitch golf bags and blue tea speakers with the rangefinder.
I've seen people give out like custom shoes that fit you and all kinds of crazy stuff.
So like that's really cool. I like to do that with my clients though, because then I'll pay the cost of the foursome. It's a nice way to take everybody out. They get a bunch of awesome swag instead of just a bunch of like
and chapsticks and stuff like that. Yeah,
sunscreens with somebody's name on it. So anyway, so they said they spent it all that way. We are still pretty much, I think, just creating a margin on.
And how has it grown? You said this is your third year, right?
This is second year.
So how has it grown from year one last year to now?
Well, I'll just say that, like, first of all, in between last year and this year, we were able to identify multiple other families. Then there's a toy manufacturer in Boca called Basic Fun.
Okay.
And one of the guys in the group found him and said, "Hey Sam, do you know anybody? You're in Boca." And lo and behold, there's a guy that him and his wife are like in the same kind of age demographic as our kids at our school, and his wife's one of the executives there. So I reached out to Randy's wife, and she was immediately receptive and was like, "What would you guys like to do?" Apparently, I might screw this up, but I think they have the rights to Tonka Truck and Care Bear.
So they're not poor.
Yeah, and they were able to like make that, like that was the focus. That was the reason why my buddy wanted to reach out there. He said, "Look, let's do a separate fundraiser in between the two tournaments. Let's let people chip in and have them basically cover the wholesale price of the toy, and then we can get toys out to all the kids in the hospital." And I thought, and maybe they still will, ask us to cover the wholesale cost. That was the original agreement. I think they decided to just donate the whole lot.
Wow.
Which means we were able to continue to keep the money we were able to raise for those toys and put them right back to those families.
Okay. So okay. And who else is sponsoring this year, if you know already?
We've got a ton of different sponsors, and I do know the names, but the lead sponsors are there's a couple of restaurants in town. One's called Pineapples. There's a insurance agency called Casey Osmond Insurance. My company, Levante Wealth, sponsoring. There's a mortgage company sponsoring. I'd actually have to pull it up too.
That's okay. No, that's good, man.
Maybe I will pull them up and read them off to you guys. But they so the great news is we're probably 40% to 50% up from last year on where we were financially.
It's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on that. That's awesome.
But also, like, I can't stress enough like how valuable it was to like become an official 501c3 and go through the labor of love to like be legit in doing this, because we were able to get ourselves, once you like go through that process and take all the right steps, you end up being able to make yourself available for the like matching grants from corporations. I was able to apply. The broker dealer that I work with, Mass Mutual, has a foundation that they write checks out of.
Okay.
And the advisors are able to ask for grants, and I was able to get a $5,000 grant from them this year.
Awesome.
So there was a lot of like little extras, you know, that like were able to help us juice up how much we were bringing in for the families. So I think
it'll only grow from there, because you know you get that action and that motivation and that momentum going, and then year 3, year 4. I mean, our guys here at Knicks Camp, and now I'm on the board of Knicks Camp, have been doing it 31 years, and they're one of the few tournaments like yours that sells out weeks in advance. I mean, I tried to book a spot for myself, but I was too late. You're like, "Hey man, you're too late. We're already sold out." So are you still accepting sponsorships?
We're definitely still accepting sponsorships if anybody's interested.
Okay.
I was trying to pull up for you the name of some of the sponsors, because they're honestly great companies.
And we'll share the link below, and you can you can share the sponsors as well to give them a shout out, because the more exposure the better. Like I said, more momentum, and you know someone else sees, oh, it's a charity helping kids with cancer. You know, my neighbor has a kid that has cancer and is going through treatment, or unfortunately everybody's touched by this awful big C word, we call it. And what makes your tournament really fun, Sam?
Oh man, this is my favorite part. So the guy, like I said, we're just like a bunch of fraternity brothers putting these on, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like part of it is social media. Like if you follow a ton of golf and just golf pages and golf, you know, like social media people, you end up seeing just a bunch of random like nonsense that you can put together. So last year we had a guy who had the AR-15 attachment for a golf ball launcher.
Okay.
And we're doing that again, so you can launch a golf ball on one of the holes with an AR-15.
It's not the cannon, cool. It's actually a modified rifle.
And now I know what it's like. I'll tell you, it's a little interesting because it's cool because it's a legit AR-15. It's challenging because it's not like the launchers. The launchers are very accurate and they get better distance. This thing's more like I would say more just novelty and fun to be able to shoot a
Yeah.
golf ball with an
Does it have a
AR-15.
scope on it that you can like zone in on the flag, or?
Well, it's like the launcher in that you're gonna want to shoot and aim up anyways. So
Okay.
the whether I think it did have a scope on it, but it didn't really matter.
You can't use the scope. Okay.
But we're doing we did last year and we're gonna do it again. A putting challenge. It's got all the bottles spread across the green.
Hit a bottle, win a
Yeah,
bottle
yeah.
thing. Yep. Okay.
Then what's really fun is we went out and splurged and bought a drone and a claw attachment. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're still trying to figure out. Well, I'm sure we'll nail it down, but there's a way to like put a geofence on it and kind of control where people, so people don't end up flying into a tree with it. Because that was my first thing. I'm like, halfway through the tournament, you're gonna have some drunk person just driving this drone right into a tree. That's the end of the drone claw game.
Yeah, that's the end of the drone. The ball drop. They do a ball drop with the drone. Right?
Yeah, they do a ball drop with the drone. So we're just trying to figure out like distance. I don't know if have you seen it done before?
I've seen it done before.
And
yeah.
was it a par 3? Were they halfway through a
No.
hole? Like what did they do?
So what they did was they actually dropped it. I think it was after the tournament was over.
Okay.
They gathered everybody around the putting green and they picked one flag. They took all the other flags out, and whoever either the ball went in or it was the closest to the pin.
And the person doing it was controlling the drone or the claw drop?
Controlling the drone, and the claw drop. So they had a drone and they had a net with all the balls, and then the claw lets go of the net and all the balls fall out.
Oh, okay.
So you might need a net to do it that way. This is going to be
individually, and it's a claw, and one ball at a time somebody gets to drive out and drop.
Okay.
Which seems, now that you're saying what yours was, ours seems very inefficient, but we'll.
If I can give you an idea that you use, I feel like I was valuable that way.
Yeah, that was pretty helpful because then it's like everyone's got their name on a ball and whichever one goes in, good for you.
Or a number on a ball. I forget how it works. Either a name or a number or whatever. Just like when you do raffles, you either write the name on there or you call out the numbers.
That's
so
cool.
It might make it easier for you, and it won't slow the pace of play because you're doing it after.
Yes.
How many golfers do you have? What was your cap?
So we capped at 30 foursomes, I'm pretty sure.
120 golfers.
Yeah, so we're doubled up on most holes, but not all.
Okay. Well, if anybody's sick that day or calls in because they got too much work to do, I'll come and I'll make sure I donate on the course, and I'll even pay for the. I'll even pay for
top of the list.
I want to shoot the AR.
Here's my favorite. The one that we added in this year, and pace of play is, I think, the biggest challenge for us because the advice we were given, it's the only advice we're given we have not listened to.
Okay.
Is like figure out which games you're gonna do, space them out properly. For us, it has been, that sounds awesome. We need to do that too.
You can't hit them up on 6 of the 18 holes, right?
We have a full size excavator coming, one of those like yard size ones coming.
All right.
And it somebody built a massive putting attachment.
Okay.
And I don't know, have you seen this online?
No, this is a new one for me.
You drive an the excavator stays in its place. You manage the swivel on the excavator to put the massive ball towards like a massive circle.
Get out of town.
I've seen the person that put it on the internet, like actually I think carved out a large hole. We're not trying to do that to the course.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll end up doing a ring or something like that. But you have like a large, like let's say like beach ball size ball that you're knocking with this excavator. All that I'm pretty sure is a pre or post.
Yeah. You can't do that in the. It'll slow the golfers down too much, and then you got people whining and. Okay.
So there's a ton. I actually will look these up for you because these are.
Yeah, I want to hear all the sponsors' names. Let's give them a shout out for sure. And while we do that, so it sounds like you got a lot of fun stuff. Is there a lot of alcohol donated? Is there food donated from those restaurants?
Tito's is sponsoring, so we've got a bunch of Tito's going on. We've got a Bloody Mary bar sponsored by our good friend Kristen Mercer's immigration law firm. Let me have one of those apps set up to turn off all my social media stuff during the day so I can be a well-behaved.
You can be a efficient business owner and serve your clients well and all
yeah,
that.
but then immediately this type of stuff happens and I can't.
Well, that's all right. We'll give you a minute or so.
Right. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I mean, while he's looking that up, check out Juju's golf tournament. If you haven't sponsored it already, if you're not on this list, there's still time to sponsor and get involved, which is awesome. So go ahead, give
whole sponsors for sure.
What's a whole sponsorship cost? A few $100?
Yeah, like $300.
Okay.
I should have been more prepared.
That's okay.
These questions.
Listen, you can put it all in the comments.
I will.
Man.
Put it
all in the comments. Go ahead. Give us the sponsors.
We got Ryan McKay's company, Hook and Reel Charters. We've got David McKay's Realty Group, Glover Properties. And we've got Casey Osmond Insurance, Florida Inspect Pro, Kim Osmond Insurance Group. We got Outdoor Enhancements, which is a landscaping design company. Back again, we have Titan Fire Protection. Let's see. And then I wanted to give you these. Oh, actually, you already asked me, and I will give it to you. So a whole sponsor, if this is true, a whole sponsor is $1,000.
All right.
That's because it comes with a foursome.
Okay.
So that one's not available anymore. But if you just wanted to do a whole sponsorship, I'm pretty sure it's only a couple $100.
All right.
So I'll put that down
in the comments below.
I'll put that down in the comments below. All right, so we got the mini excavator putter, a hole-in-one challenge, the drone that I told you about, the AR-15, which we call the PAR 15. We're doing the Freedom Eagles, which I don't know if I told you about that last year, but we do. There's a beer funnel that looks like an eagle. So you funnel out of the eagle, and because it's golf, what we did is if you funnel an eagle and you have a birdie on your scorecard, you are allotted to move your birdie to an eagle because you took an eagle. So that's fun. We got the Bloody Mary bar going in the morning. We've got catered breakfast and lunch. We're doing a straightest drive instead of a longest drive.
Okay, good. I can win that. I can't win longest drive.
Okay.
I can't hit it 300 like some of those bombers out there.
Tito's is sponsoring the putting green, and there's a couple other games, but I couldn't even.
Have you ever nailed yourself a hole-in-one?
Oh my God, no.
No. I've gotten very close. I've hit the stick. I've almost made an eagle one time, hitting the stick from like 165 yards away.
That's incredible.
Didn't go in. I'm still searching for my first hole-in-one. I'm gonna get one.
Have you chipped in from a distance?
I have.
That's pretty exciting.
Chipping in from 60, 70, 80 yards, 650 yards.
That'll bring you back.
That'll book you a tee time the next morning. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How about you, Jonah? Have you had a hole-in-one?
No.
Not yet.
I wish. No.
Okay. All right. We're all searching for... I'll tell you what. I was playing with Nick Chiera here at Winners one time, and he got really, really close. He came up about 5 inches from the stick. He made the birdie putt. That's the important thing. We just let him play on that one by himself. We're like, go knock your birdie in from 6 inches away, 5 inches away. But man, I thought it was going in. It was right at it with a little bit of draw, curving towards the hole. It just kind of turned right. He didn't read the green, I guess, well enough. But we're not pros, so when we get a hole-in-one, it's going to be like, man, I just swung the club on enough par threes to make one go in.
Well, and you watch enough YouTube videos to know that if you hit a hole-in-one, you have to run the whole hole.
150% correct. Unless there's water, and then you gotta, deal with the cart path. But you don't want to swim. You don't want to swim the thing, especially not in the man-made lakes we got. Who knows what's in those things? Yeah. But no, it'd be fun to get the first hole-in-one and win. What do you win if you get the hole-in-one? Do you know?
It's definitely, I think, a cash prize, so I have to double check.
Like, not only do you get a hole-in-one award for yourself, but you get some cash, or sometimes there's a car and stuff like that.
I've seen that. Car leases, car...
Yeah, you 2-year lease on a brand new Mercedes or BMW or whatever like that. So next year you got to get a car sponsor. That's your challenge. You got to get a
challenge accepted.
One of those West Palm Beach or Melbourne car dealerships. You just walk right in there and be like, hey, you got a huge marketing budget. How about doing something good with it?
Put the car out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're doing that for the Man Up Golf Tournament in December.
Okay.
I'll send you an invite to
Please,
that one. It's
please
at
do.
Pembroke Lakes every year.
Okay.
Really nice public course, and they've treated us well. I'm on their golf committee. We do all their swag. We do the swag for their
Nice.
sponsors, so I'm very involved in that one.
Yeah, you're doing my divot markers this year.
I didn't want to give away if it was a secret surprise.
No, it's not a secret.
So
They asked us if we would do something, and I hadn't signed up to do anything
yeah,
yet. So
those
to me,
divot
like,
tools
a
are great.
solid-
They're great.
Yeah, those Pitch Fix ones look like they're pretty legit.
They're really good divot tools. The only thing is you want to wipe the dirt off because when you close them, they're switch blades,
Right,
so
right.
you don't want to get a bunch of dirt in that thing.
Yeah. Actually, I have one that's, I don't know if it's the same Pitch Fix one, but when you do it, it almost like sounds like a tuning fork when it pops out. Because it's got the tube.
I think they all
Yeah.
kind of sound. Pitch Fix is all kind of sound. This is not a commercial for Pitch Fix. They're not sponsoring us or you yet.
It was legit. It's a legit tool. So we're happy to have you do it.
All right. So what else have I not asked you that I should about this thing, or did we cover?
No, I think
All the ground.
I think we covered it. It's coming up in 2 weeks. It's on Friday, November 21st. Teeing off in the morning. It's of course scramble format. We're gonna have a great time. I'm definitely not playing just because of the amount of people they're gonna be out there, and we really need the help. That was probably our biggest lesson. Is like we need a lot of help, and we need a lot of golf carts because to try to get around. I'm like, get me a bicycle because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like people are trying to get things done. You're calling, you're texting each other, organizing these golf.
So when you're driving around, are you thanking the people for being a part of it? Are you passing out cigars and booze? Like, what are you doing as an ambassador for the charity while you're out there on the course?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, there's a ton of thank yous, and honestly, there's a lot of like execution. So you get people that are like, we need cash on this hole. We're trying to make change for people to do this or that, or somebody forgot something at the club.
There's no ice for the drink station,
stuff runs out, and you just need to kind of do it. But the thank yous are constant. I mean, and the Papash family, whose daughter was kind of the precipice of us doing this, they drive around, and Juju comes around. And
oh, that's so
says hi to
sweet.
everybody.
And how young is Juju now?
She's under 3. So,
Oh man, she's a little one. That's cute. That's cool.
It's awesome. And then I mean, now, like I said, it's just the only thing I haven't said is we just have expanded to trying to support more families. So if people know families that are struggling with the medical bills and travel costs of supporting their kid, then we're writing grants, and people can absolutely apply to us.
And it's November 21st. Are you shotgunning at 8 or noon, or what time do you guys kick this thing off?
I could answer that question for you. I think it's 8 or 8:30.
And there's a lunch afterwards, I presume.
Yep,
So
breakfast.
do you have an
and
option
lunch.
where people can just buy the lunch and come hang out if they can't play golf, or is that not a thing for you guys?
That is not a thing for us yet, although we have definitely explored, like, we've heard that a lot of these tournaments, I think you told us, and I've heard other buddies that, like, do major, like, events the night before and try to do a banquet.
You do a sponsor event, or you can do like a, hey, you know what, we're sold out of golfers, but we'd love for you to come to the lunch. I'd pay, $50 to go to the lunch or donate, and just hang out. And, if you need other volunteers, since I can't play, I'd love to come up and drive around and thank people and do whatever you needed. I've done that for several tournaments, and it's fun. You get to meet a lot of good people. And I think it's important, and a lot of charities miss this, is you don't feel like you're at a charity tournament sometimes because they hit you up on 2 or 3 holes for donations, but the rest of the time you're just out there playing golf and nobody comes by, nobody says anything. You might see a few cart girls passing out booze or selling booze depending on the tournament, but I appreciate that you guys are out there as ambassadors for the charity. I think
I'm shotgunning Eagles. I'm funneling
shotgunning Eagles. Awesome.
It's
So if you want to see Sam out there shotgunning Eagles and thanking you for helping the charity, it's a great opportunity. If you still need volunteers, we can probably get you a few of those. I like to drag my son out as a volunteer at 16 going on 17, and he's great out there. He has a blast, and he gets his service hours, and everybody wins.
that's
So
awesome.
looking forward to it, and it's in Melbourne at Bay Tree. And is Bay Tree a private course or public course?
Public.
It's a public course. Okay. Very cool. Good course. Nice place to play.
Oh yeah, it was quality.
Good.
We promise not to shoot the AR-15 in your backswing if you,
If you donate enough. Yeah, there you go.
I think we're doing a heckler hole too.
Do you have a heckler? I was actually gonna say maybe that's something that'd be cool to do.
I think we confirmed, and it's one of those where you could pay not to be heckled, but honestly, I would prefer you not to. Cause
how would you not want to pay to be heckled? Because that's, I mean, shoot.
I actually think maybe that's the upgrade is you can pay to not be heckled, but somebody can then one up you and
pay for you to be heckled.
To turn the heckle
I
back
like
on
that
for you.
answer.
That's
yeah,
great.
that works. That works.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to be a really fun tournament on November 21st. Sam's going to be there with his fraternity team of 12 guys, helping you get around the course and have a blast. I'm sure the food is excellent.
We have Emerson Lazia from DraftKings coming to help us MC the event. He happens to be a fraternity brother. Working on a friend who I shall leave the name out for now, but she's somewhat of a golf celebrity herself. She's a PXG sponsor. She's sponsored by PXG. And does a whole lot of golf work in the community and nationally. So it's gonna be a great event. I appreciate you having me to talk about it.
Anytime, man. You're welcome back, even if you don't have a tournament. We're having fun chopping it up. So.
Thanks, man.
Check out Juju's golf tournament on November 21st at Bay Tree in Melbourne. Comments will have the link if you want to sponsor still, and don't let it sell out next year before I get a chance to pay for my spot. Okay.
I'll hit you up earlier next year.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you could hit me up right after the tournament this year, and I'll be the first in. I was gonna call my buddy Chris up in Port St. Lucie, so I had a ringer. To get me around.
We'll just book you now for next year.
Booking me now for next year right after we sign off. So thanks for listening. Check us out next week on the On Par podcast from the Winners Award Group showroom, and we appreciate you listening. Have a great week.